Oh, hi, everybody. How you doing? It's Ezra Levant here. It's Monday, June 29th. I'm the Rebel Commander, as I like to call myself, here at Rebel News. And every day, I do a live stream, every weekday, at 12 noon. My friends Sheila Gunn-Reid and David Menzies take turns on their tag team. They do it on Tuesdays and Thursdays to give me a bit of a break. But I'm really delighted to be here with you today, because this morning we premiered for our public friends an amazing video of theatrical quality, if I may say so, of our visit to Toronto City Hall on Wednesday. Now, I know I've been talking with you about this for some time. We went down there on the Wednesday. We had 5 cameras with us, 7 security guards, my free speech lawyer. I think altogether, including me and David Menzies, we had an entourage, I know it's crazy, of 15 people. And so I didn't want to rush the product. I mean, when you have 5 different video files of the same thing, that alone is going to be a very challenging editing job. And so we didn't want to rush it. And we were finally done on Friday afternoon, and I thought, I don't want to put out a gem of this quality on a Friday afternoon. That's sort of a dead zone media-wise. People are clocking out. They're going to do other stuff. So we held it till this morning. And I'm just trying to find the video stats. I want to tell you how it did this morning. And more than that, I want to go through the video with you today, and I want to give you sort of a running commentary on it. So if I'm seeing this right, the video that we debuted this morning, that we premiered, has been watched 62,000 times in the last couple of hours. And through my YouTube Studio app, let me see if there's even more clicks. Yeah, 62,000 times just this morning, which is very exciting to me because it tells me people are very interested. I'm going to check with one more app to see if I can get any more up-to-date stats. But I'm not going to bore you with the stats. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the video with you, giving you sort of a secondary commentary on it. I don't know if you want that, but I'm going to give it to you anyways. But first I want to tell you that we've got a lot of super chats, and I'd like to give a shout out to them because so far YouTube has not monetized the video. What that means is they're refusing to run ads on it. Now we have appealed. We uploaded the video last night, they rejected it, we appealed, and we actually reached out to them by email. So it's been 14 hours since we've appealed. They still haven't lifted the demonetization. And a video of this quality and this length would make hundreds, probably thousands of dollars if it were monetized, commercialized. And we need that because we spent $4,200 on security guards alone on Wednesday. So I'm going to assume that YouTube is going to blacklist this video and demonetize it. So we are reliant, therefore, on super chats to help pay the bills. Now, there have been some super chats from the weekend and this morning that I'm going to read out now. Maya Kovacevic, $5. Ezra, what are your thoughts on NDP Jagmeet Singh calling Bloc MP racist? Well, I dealt with this in a manner of speaking a few days ago. I think it's actually a form of racism on the part of Jagmeet Singh. Obviously, there are racists amongst us. It's a human failing. It's a sin, I guess you could say. But it's not, if you're an NDP, you're not a racist. If you're Bloc Québécois, you are a racist. It's not that simple. The Bloc's essence is that there's a Quebec nation of sorts. And I think it's obvious that there is. Whether or not they're an independent country is the subject of political debate. But to simply call someone who is a Quebec nationalist a racist, I think is unacceptable, and I think it's probably racist in itself. Bass Eater, $5 US dollars. Thank you from Vermont, USA. Well, thank you. You know, I want to tell you what I'm going to do today. I'm going to run this morning's show again with live commentary. So I'll show it to again the people who haven't seen it. Texas Plays 101. Love this channel from San Angelo. Well, thank you very much. I think our retaking of Toronto City Hall on Wednesday is actually a template or a role model for people around the world, whether it's Seattle or Baltimore or St. Louis, Washington, D.C. Why should we yield the public town square to some criminals? And we didn't. Sky Herdier, $20 Australian. Thanks for sharing. Love and support the Rebel News from Australia. Well, that's very nice of you, and good luck down there too. I think that you have these same issues in Australia as we have in Canada and certainly in the UK. Can you find that Cambridgeshire police tweet that I'm referring to? You know, the one I mentioned this morning. Cambridgeshire cops put out a public announcement saying there's going to be a Black Lives Matter protest. That's lawful, but no counter protests will be allowed. What? That's not what police are supposed to say. I'll show you that. Rusty Peterson, $140. This is discussing and outrageous. Thank God for Rebel Media and exposing this communist government and mob behavior. Well, Rusty, thank you for your incredibly generous gift. Appreciate that. DE, $7. No message. Well, thanks anyways. Mamadop, $20. Thank you, Rebel, for showing us their true faces. Yeah, the only faces we blurred out were those of our security guards. Jim Brody, $14. Thank you. Well, thank you, Jim. Pink Phoenix Nails, $1.49. Thanks. Gabriel Mullet, $20. Great video. Keep up the amazing journalism. Okay, I think I've caught up on the super chats. I wanted to get those out of the way. Have I completely caught up there? Rishi Ramraj, $20. Brave journalism. Well done, sir. Well, thank you very much. MVP, $6. I think that's Australian. Great work. It's sad you need bodyguards to do journalism these days. Well, that's the irony. It's just Rebel News that needs bodyguards. TBC doesn't need bodyguards. Global doesn't need bodyguards because they're compliant with Antifa. They're the spokesman for Antifa. TWMY, $5. Hey, Ezra, just finished the vid. Great work. Sorry that our country tolerates lawlessness. Menzoid for PM. Menzoid's very brave. Gabriel Mullet, I already mentioned that one. Okay, I think I'm caught up on all the super chats. Is that right, Justin? Yeah, I think I caught up to the new ones. Okie doke. Well, here's what I propose to do. The video that we put up this morning is just under half an hour long. And I know some of you have seen it before, but maybe what I can do, can we do this, Justin? Can we play that video with a little box of me on the screen? And if I pipe up with sort of my comments or jokes or whatever, can we have that audio track dominate the sound of the vid? Can we do that? Yep, okay, good. I thought so. I just wanted to confirm it because I don't want to just play the video again. I want to sort of give my running commentary. Let me say read a few quick super chats, and then we're going to do a 25-minute dive into this thing. I will come back and read your super chats, so please give us your super chats. Just for those who don't know, a super chat is a chat in that little comment window there, but you put a few bucks behind it, or kroner, or pesos, or rupees. I've seen even rubles. And it makes your comment brightly colored, as you can see, and it sticks to the top of the window there. But the good news is we get 70% of that. I think that YouTube's 30% commission is too high, but that's my opinion. So we do get 70% of those super chats. And I tell you, just this morning I asked our VP for the security invoice. I haven't seen it, but I know we were quoted $100 an hour, 6-hour minimum, 7 security guards. That's $4,200 plus tax. So that's about $5,000 for security on Wednesday alone. And we had David Menzies out there again yesterday with 3 securities, so that's what, $1,800 again. So there's no way we would recoup these costs just on YouTube ads if we're even monetized. So I do need your help, guys, if you want us to keep doing this. So thank you very much. When I get the invoice from the security firm, I'll show it to you so you can see. But I think you can guess that professional security is expensive. I'm going to whip through these last super chats, and then Justin, we're going to go, and I'll just sort of be in a box, and I'll give a running commentary. That's sort of a fun way to do a video, anyways. Hockey Dad, $5, thinking about supporting Derek Sloan, but do you think that we should support the best candidate, the candidate that has the best chance to win? That's the eternal question, isn't it? If I was a conservative member, and I'm not, I'd probably vote for Derek Sloan. I'm not a member, and I can understand why people would vote for Leslie Lewis to send a message, and I can understand why people would vote for Aaron O'Toole. I really don't understand why anyone would vote for Peter MacKay unless they're literally on the payroll. I'm not enthused with that whole race. I just have a hard time believing any of them will be the next prime minister. Sorry. Randall Truscott 6, you are amazing. Well, thank you. You are amazing. Rusty Peterson, $21. What does the mayor and council have to say? Why has nobody talked to them about this? Oh, they're hiding. They're hiding. If anything, they're sending out the security guards to protect the protesters from us. Richard White, $20. Okay, I think I'm really caught up on the super chats. Oh, there's 3 more, Justin tells me, so let me just check. He sends them to me by WhatsApp in case I miss them. Okay, Vito, Anthony D. Ezra, that was the most refreshing and courageous form of journalism that I've seen in Canada. Very bad policing and awareness of the law. You know what was funny? And everyone was using it. Like, I went to law school way, way back in the day. I haven't practiced law in more than a decade. But I don't think you need to be a lawyer to know when the security guard, I trespass you, I trespass. That's not how the word trespass works. Trespass is the bad thing you do in violation of the Trespass Act, and they serve you a notice to, not a trespass notice that if you come back on, you'll be just so security guards were and I heard it so well, I trespass you, I trespass. You're using the word wrong. I don't think you understand anything. It was so weird. UK Freedom Honest, £5. Guys, please donate if you're able. At the very least, hit that like button. Rebel News, great reporting truth. Thank you. I think I covered all those ones. Okay, I promise I'll get back to any new super chats on when we're through this video. So what we're going to do now, if you missed our premiere this morning and haven't clicked the video, we're going to play that video, and I'm going to be in this little box, and there I am, a very unflattering shot of my very, very wide hips, and I look so super fat in the vehicle. This video has changed my life. It's reminded me that I got to lose my pandemic pounds, or as they would say in the UK, pandemic stone. Stone is about 14 pounds, so I got to lose about 3 stone. That sounds much more achievable than losing 42 pounds. All right, that's the only comment I'm going to make about how fat I look. And without further ado, let me roll out what I think is perhaps our finest work ever. We've produced 14,000 videos since Rebel News was founded 5.5 years ago, excuse me. This is perhaps our finest work. Okay, roll the video. We're going to go there. David's going to try and do journalism. Ideally, we're done in half an hour because nothing happened. I need people here now!
What would you like us to do?
Off my land, that's what I would like.
We've got another gender.
Touch my elder.
Your elder?
What you're doing is causing a disturbance with everybody here. I need to ask you to leave, okay?
That's the security guard asking us to leave. Oh, what a faker. What a faker. That was the one, oh boy. Oh, and there's our cameraman about to get hit. Boom! I'm coming for you, buddy. If anyone knows who that person was, we're going to track him down, the guy who hit our cameraman.
So if that is not true, we need to know it.
Look at that, look very dramatic. Nathan Phillips happens to be the name of the Indigenous American who confronted the Covington kids. Different Nathan Phillips. This guy's crazy.
Don't run away from love. Don't run away from love. Don't run away from love. Oh, don't run away from love.
He's a madman.
Sir?
Yeah,
What's your purpose here?
I'm a cameraman.
Can I see
Are you gonna stop me instead of them trying to block me?
I'm asking you.
I don't have to provide you anything.
Okay, well,
Just like they don't have to provide anything to you. I'm not harassing them. They're following me.
That's town hall security literally saying our cameraman was harassing the protesters after he was chased by them.
We evolve through love and diversity.
That's what we do.
We evolve through love and diversity.
That's what we do.
We evolve through love and diversity.
Listen to the chant.
Listen to the chant. Yeah, no, sorry, mate. I'm not brainwashed like you.
Get off me.
If you swap my hand away, I'll break it. So he's touching us, touching. I trespass you for non-compliance. You're not even using the words right, lady.
Coming here and doing this, I understand what you're trying to do. So for today, City Hall security and their staff, they're trespassing you. Okay, so we're gonna have to escort
You're
you.
trespassing. You're not even using the word. Oh my God, I was so mad. So here's what I did. At a staff meeting. Is to do journalism. And we're going to make this a fight for civil liberties. We shouldn't have to hire all these security and lawyers, but we're not going to concede that we can be kicked off City Hall. We don't live in Iran or China. We don't clear out from City Hall because some cop tells us to. So I don't want to come across as threatening to the police, but what happened yesterday when our people were driven out of the public square by the police will never happen again on my watch for this company. But we're just going to be so compliant with the law that we're going to force the government to reveal itself. Are they really just trying to get rid of us because they don't like the cut of our jib? If so, that's illegal, that's unconstitutional. So that's what's happened. I'm over talking. Let's go down there and do it. Thumbs up from David, everybody. All right, let's go downtown. Oh, fat. Aaron is coming with all sorts of legal precedents in hand, just in case, not if the protesters attack us, but if City Hall attacks us in real time. We're going to meet our security detail at Old City Hall, then we'll walk across the street, and hopefully we'll be done in half an hour. Hopefully it'll be uneventful. But if the city and the police have other plans, we're as ready as we can be. Fitbit, check my Fitbit. Now there I am shaking hands with security. None of this elbow bump business. March. We're going to go there. David's going to try and do journalism. Ideally, we're done in half an hour because nothing happened. It's not even that interesting a story. It's a bunch of tents.
Well, you may recall, folks, that yesterday I went to Nathan Phillips Square. It has been commandeered by a group that's primarily composed of
I don't believe they're
Indigenous and
actually
Black
sleeping
people,
in those tents, by the
and
way.
evidently,
I think they're
we're not
sleeping
allowed
in
to be on the
hotels
square.
or
It is
Airbnbs
like the
or their own
Antifa,
homes. I don't believe they
autonomous
actually camp
city
out
in
there
Seattle,
overnight. Do
but
you?
it's even amped up a little more because it's right where the seat of government is here in the municipality of Toronto, Toronto City Hall. We were told that by police that if we didn't exit the square, we would be arrested and charged with trespass, and yet they're turning a blind eye to the squatters. Not only that, folks, the city is aiding and enabling them by putting up porta potties for their comfort.
Yeah, they
But
were
we don't take
driving
no
out
for an answer
our
here
lawful
at Rebel
reporters
News. We
and
fight
actually
freedom.
providing services
Right
to
now with
the
commander
squatters.
himself, Ezra Levant. What did you make of our experience yesterday, Ezra?
It was completely unacceptable, David. You know me, I have my own show, but I let you do most of the field work in Ontario. But I saw you went to Kingston, Ontario on the weekend, and we had one security guard with you.
Where are the
police
cops?
were not there, and you were swarmed by Antifa. Our security guard did a good job and pulled you out of there, but it was outrageous that the police were not there. It is unacceptable that the police who dismissed our private security yesterday did not protect our journalists. In particular, they swarmed one of our cameramen, Mocha.
That's the crazy guy who said, "Don't
And
run
it's
away from love," and
doubly
he started
unacceptable to me
flailing his
that
fists
the
at our
same City
cameraman.
Hall police and security that allows a unhygienic, unlawful, violence-prone squatters camp literally on the plaza in front of City Hall. They abide that, but they tell peaceful, law-abiding journalists to skedaddle? No. So we are back here today with 7 security guards and our lawyer, Aaron Rosenberg.
Look at that tough guy. He's
It's
the toughest
absurd.
guy.
We have a team
Aaron.
of 7, 8, 9, 10 people plus
There I am giving a
5.
pep
We got
talk to
15
the
people here today.
security team.
just to assist you.
They said, "We don't want to
doing
hear
the
you, but you're
story." So
paying
we're
us, so
gonna
we'll listen to you." It's
into
wonderful
this
when you
camp
pay your
now.
audience
You're
to
gonna do a
listen.
normal
Normally,
story.
audiences pay you.
What I'm going to be looking for, and so will our lawyer, is will John Tory's politicized police, who have ignored this illegal encampment, will they try to crack down on you, on me, on our professional licensed insured security? If so, we have a serious problem. Let's go to the front steps of City Hall and let's let you do journalism. We're going to be so compliant with the law. We're going to be professional. We're going to be lawful. We're not going to cause a scene.
Look, I'm famously polite. Everyone knows I'm polite. So we were just going there to be polite. It's in our nature.
No cause to eject us other than political bias. We're controlling every other variable.
Any people here now?
What a bossy guy.
We don't need people here now! Everybody, get your
Well, folks,
umbrellas!
we're at literally the scene of the crime. This is the illegal encampment. It's supposedly a circle. It's not quite geometrically correct. But this is where we were yesterday. And evidently there's a phony baloney rule that I think people and even media are allowed to be outside the circle.
By rule, he means what these
but we can't venture inside the
protesters, it's
circle.
not a real rule,
Now,
it's
here
just
come
these
the
protesters
umbrellas.
said
can tell
you
there's
can't
not
come in our circle. It's
raindrop
not,
in the air
it's not your
today. It's a nice
circle, that's the
sunny day in
City Hall
Toronto.
Plaza.
So this is going to be to attempt to block our cameras so, you know, we can't capture their crimes on video. It's a typical Antifa 101 tactic in massaging the narrative to their liking. Also, as you can see, as I alluded to earlier, we got a couple of porta potties established by the city. So not only are the police coming in and John Tory saying you cannot
See our security
be
guards
here,
mustering
it is
behind
illegal.
him,
They are making
just physically
these
blocking
squatters
people coming to
have a
harass David.
comfortable
But look, there's what,
place to be.
probably a dozen
It should also be
protesters.
noted that despite this illegal occupation, there is 0.0 police presence. And then we have one solitary security guard there. Notably, he is behind a steel
Oh yeah, those security
wall.
guards, they were
So it's a
hiding
temporary steel
behind
fencing.
a steel grate. They
Very
weren't
funny
coming
that,
out
isn't it, folks? The left
to do
is
anything
typically
other than when
against,
I went to them and asked for help. They told me I
walls
was
so that a country
trespassing.
can maintain its sovereignty in terms of illegal aliens coming to the country. But when they are threatened at City Hall, walls are very effective indeed. Now, as you can see off camera too, this is where they start shoving umbrellas and whatnot into our faces, and they start complaining, "Don't touch me," and that this is an assault on them. Here's this guy, as you can see. I don't know what he's got. They don't want free speech. They don't want freedom of the press. They don't want freedom of expression. They want tyranny.
in real time. They're
They-
starting to swarm around David. You can see the bodyguards
right?
making
What's
a
the
circle
truth, man?
around him.
See, again, you ask them a question, and they can't answer.
They're not there to
They
debate. They're
respond
just
with
the cannon
vulgarity.
fodder. They're not intellectuals. They're not trying to persuade. They don't even really know what they're there for.
Well, maybe, ma'am, if you put your umbrella down. By the way, why is it that you people don't want your encampment filmed? You people in the encampment, ma'am.
This is an occupation. Who is you?
Oh, it's an occupation. Okay, well, we're dealing with semantics right now.
You're on my land. You're on my territories. Who are you, colonizer?
Can I see a deed, please?
Pardon me?
Can I see the deed?
You don't need to see my
I don't think
fucking deed.
she knew what the word deed meant, so she got a little
Respond
defensive.
to a question without profanity?
Are these your lands? Were you your original person of these lands? Are these your lands?
Well, I believe this is a public square, ma'am.
What you believe? Do you know that these are not your lands? Does somebody come up into your home and take up your space? Does somebody come into your home and they can dictate how you run your household?
So what would you like? What would you like us to do?
Off my land. That's what I would like.
What about all these other people on your land? Why don't the...
Protesting against you. This is not public space. This is Anishinaabe territory.
I don't want to get into history. I want to get into current events. If you want to abolish the police, ma'am, who do we call when the bad guys harass people out?
The bad guys can get the out of here. It's your people that did this, had this mindset in here. Our people were peaceful people before they came here.
You know, I think you're probably a nice lady. If someone were to criminally harass you, harm you, who would you call if you abolished the police, ma'am? Well, I'm interviewing an umbrella again. So, like I said, folks, as you can see, that is...
They put
their
up those
main goal. They have a
tarps.
big, red and white
Partly to
sign
block
that
us from
says,
filming, but partly
"Abolish
to
the police,"
hide
not
when they commit
defund
physical
the police.
violence behind
Why
the
are you getting in our
tarps.
way, sir? You know. By the way, this is another tactic, folks. They walk an inch away from us, and then they play the victim card. You know. Oh, here's silent Sam again. Don't touch me.
Look at that guy. Look at that guy. He hits us later. You see how he puts his hand right forward?
It's
That
getting
guy on the
testy, as you
left-hand
can
side
see.
there, the guy on the
Now,
left there.
Where
He later comes and
when you
hits our
think- when you
cameraman,
think
Mo,
of an illegal
Efron.
occupation like this, there would
I want to
be
find the
a
name of
police
that guy.
presence. But Mayor Tory has
The guy
called
who's
off
being blocked
the
by our
conflict,
security. You
see.
see, just moved to the
We
right-hand
are
side there.
probably
The guy who's moving
a
around the right there,
4-minute
he
drive
physically
from
attacked.
police
Oh, yeah.
headquarters.
You see, he was trying to
Sir?
That guy who had his hands up there.
purpose
If
here
you
is
have
to
his name,
do,
send me an email to
some
Ezra
journalism.
All right,
at
so
rebelnews.com.
right now,
I want
what
to find
you're
him.
doing
Here's the
is
useless
causing a
security.
disturbance with everybody here. I need to ask you to leave, okay?
What have I done to
You're
cause a
causing
disturbance?
disturbance. I need you to leave the property.
And what have I done to cause a
Causing
disturbance?
disturbance, sir. I need you to leave the property. You have been cautioned, and I've said it. It is loud and clear. You have been cautioned. I need you to leave the property. I've been trespassing, okay? For causing disturbance.
Can
That's
you-
the Property Act. You have been cautioned.
Which section of the Act?
I don't have to tell you what section.
You have to tell me what grounds I violated, ma'am.
Causing disturbance, sir.
I wasn't causing a disturbance.
I have looked it up, ma'am.
It's absurd.
Hey, is that wacky tobacco that's legal now? Listen to your heart, decolonize your mind. What does that mean, ma'am?
See, David thinks they want a discussion. They don't want a
Smells like
discussion.
a dead skunk in the middle of the road, actually. But
They're just foot soldiers
No.
of activists.
Oh, is that
They're
right?
just the
Is that
cannon
your
fodder.
idea of freedom?
Some of them are street
Shutting
people.
down the
Some
media,
of them are
sir?
mentally ill.
Huh? I thought we weren't allowed inside your sacred circle, sir. We're outside of your sacred circle.
Because you're disruptors.
How are
You're
you?
antagonizers.
I'm just standing here talking. You're the one disrupting.
No, I'm not. You're disrupting by coming and going against what we believe.
That's my favorite line in
to
the whole thing.
abolish
You're
the police.
disrupting by coming out
does that-
against what we
how does
believe.
that help
First of all, they
anyone? How
haven't
does
really
that help
articulated what they
any-
believe, but he thinks
As you can
it's
see. Hey.
unlawful to disagree with him. These are not. Oh, there's that thug again. There's the thug. He really wants
No, if you-
to lay a punch on
Sir,
our
if you
people,
didn't
and
do
in the
nothing
end, he
wrong, that means
does.
you did something wrong. You used a double negative. I'm sorry you're not educated.
No, don't even go.
Yeah. So you can see it's open season,
Don't touch me.
and
David's
you're
keeping
the
his
one
cool.
that punched my microphone, sir. What? That's vandalism.
No, don't touch me.
So, anyways,
Don't touch.
so I'm not sure how much we're capturing, folks, but this is this is par for the course with these Antifa wannabes. You know,
You feel harassed? You feel ambushed?
I think this is the definition of harassment. You can't. Oh, hi. We've got another gender.
Touch my fucking elder.
Your elder? So again, I'm not sure what they're trying to accomplish aside from making themselves look like infants.
How are you?
You tell me, my friend.
I don't know. You look.
Sounds like we're all pretty sick, aren't we?
Get out of here.
We're all sick.
There's some weirdos there. There's some weird people, mental illness, homelessness. They're out in the public squares. They're out in the public, so they see some encampment, and then there's some action. They get $100, get some free food, some drugs, a little bit of faking. That's screaming. And here comes the punch. Ready? There's a guy in the light blue shirt. Here he comes. Here he comes with a long sleeve.
Come on!
Boom. He's been trying to do that all day. He punches Ezra on our camera now. If you know who that thug is, email me, Ezra at rebelnews.com.
Don't touch women! Insulting our women is not okay!
There's the thug again. There's the thug.
We won't stoop to your level!
I want to prosecute him. If anyone knows his name,
How dare you!
Ezra at
We will
rebelnews.com.
not
Send it
stoop
to
to
me.
your violence! You f***ing demons!
That's the crazy guy
Being
who said we're all
separated
sick. I
from
think
some
he's a little
members
mentally touched.
of our team. It is completely lawless here.
Oh, here comes the crazy part.
There's some police right
Here's
there.
the craziest part. Look at
Let's
this.
see if I flag them over, they do anything. Hey, police! 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 Look at this!
The two
Look at
police
this.
cars drove by.
I guess they have to enforce the Bay Street clear
As
lane or
David
something.
says, there's a word for that,
cops
Fido. F it,
are
drive
running
on.
away from the
They're
cops.
driving on. So our security said, get out of there, we're overwhelmed. Not that our guys couldn't have pounded them into dust, it's just our guys didn't want to do that. But look at that, we see some cops, so we're going back. I raised my hand, hey guys, how you doing? Hey
We
officers.
came here today with 7 private professional insured security so we could do journalism. We briefed ourselves on various laws and we were compliant throughout. We went through the law. No swearing, no troublemaking. and we simply stood in there to report, and our security did their best, but they were overwhelmed, and there was a fisticuff. I'd like to go back and calmly stand in the town square and do a 5-minute news report, but I was driven out despite spending thousands of dollars on private security. Now that you guys are here, I wonder if I can walk back into the town square of my city peacefully in compliance with all laws and exercise my right as a journalist.
You don't have to put that in my face.
I like this cop.
We were talking to the security over there, right? And they were
That's
saying
an Antifa
that,
cameraman
some of the
there.
words,
He was filming
you guys were
everything for
saying
the
and
Antifa
using were
side.
antagonizing the crowd there, and
It's not
it was
true. What word? I didn't even talk to them. I didn't even talk to them.
Did you say anything to them?
I didn't say not a word. The security weren't even there, so the security didn't hear anything. The security never came to help. They were always at least 100 feet away, so they physically could not have.
How could City Hall security know what we were saying if they were hiding behind their little metal
I was
fence?
told I had to leave under the trespass, and I said, "What have I done?" And she couldn't say it. So, what I'm saying here is, and I'm happy to go alone or send David alone. The reason we brought 7 people with us is because our journalists were threatened yesterday, and I thought I can't have our journalists being beat up. So will you either allow me or hopefully walk with me so I stand in front of my city hall as a journalist and do a 5-minute news report in front of my city hall, completely compliant with the law and separated by a band of blue steel from the protesters?
Right. So, right now, I gotta talk to the City Hall security again. They advised me that they had trespassed you guys from their property.
Using the language
You
right.
guys want to do your journalism? We don't take offense to that.
Blessed
I
are
like
the
that.
peacemakers. I think you could fix this by letting us go out. Those guys won't.
Like,
I want to stand
Why don't you guys stand?
because this is my city.
About here
No.
and have a little-
I'm going to go on the other side of the ramp.
Yeah, I'm not taking the servant's entrance. I'm not taking the back
20
door.
feet away from the bad guys, and I'm going to use my Section 2B charter right to report the news in my city.
And you're free to report the news. That's not the problem at all.
And I'm also free to stand on the town square.
Explain it to me. So see that stairwell that's going down? Is that where you want to set up?
That's not bad.
I'm
Yeah.
not doing it out by the dumpster. I'm a free Toronto citizen of Canada,
Yeah.
whatever. I'm not running away.
Starts to explode, and security wants you to leave. Then I'm gonna have to ask you, right?
Well, officer, I want to tell you, the law says, the law doesn't talk about situations. The law talks about people. I'm not going to explode. David's not going to explode. My cameramen aren't going to explode. And my professional licensed security certainly aren't going to explode. There are some explosive people in here, but the law touches explosive people.
Yeah,
not
it's not, oh, it's a
explosive
situation. No,
And
we're
I'm
not the
leaving because some
explosive
guy explodes
situation.
at me.
Those hooligans are, and they know it. And they know it.
About breaching of the peace.
I haven't breached the peace at all. If you want to take the position, officer, and I know you don't, that a peaceful, quiet news report on the town square is breaching the peace, that's a law that needs to be tested. Let's just go and do some journalism, officer.
Let me speak to the security. Give me a quick second.
Sure, and if you also want to call Colonel Sanders, he has about as much authority as these mall cops, but you do what you got to do.
We all gotta work together. We all live here together.
Blessed are the peacemakers.
You know, I don't
The
mind a
best.
cop
I
using
like
his
that guy.
discretion to diffuse a situation, but I was not going to compromise on my charter right. You can talk to those mall cops all they want. They're practically illiterate. They didn't know anything they were talking about, and they certainly weren't living up to their duty as security. They were hiding. So they went to talk to the mall cops. I really don't care what those mall cops have to say.
All right, we spoke to the security there. They said at 12:34 they trespassed all of you guys.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to walk there now, and that'll go one of 3 ways, I think. One is I'll go by myself, and I'll probably get attacked. That won't be good.
I'm
The
not built
other
for
is
fighting, guys. Sorry.
You come with me.
I'm a lover,
and
not
I
a
don't think
fighter.
they're
You
going to
can
lay a
see.
glove on you.
I'm an eater,
But I know how
a
tough
lover,
it is to be a
not a
cop these
fighter.
days. They're filming everything. They're going to try and get you. It's tough.
It is
The
tough
third
being a
is
cop, especially when
you
every
arrest
movie
me.
there's
I
film.
don't want that to happen, but I am ready for that to happen. because the only reason I'm here with 15 of my friends.
I was ready to be arrested. I mean, I've never been arrested before, never spent time in jail as a prisoner. I visited jail as a lawyer and as a visitor, but never as a prisoner. But I absolutely was ready. If I couldn't stand on my own city hall to do a report, and if I was going to be arrested for that, I wanted, the world would need to know that, don't you think?
If I get arrested, we need to know it. So I'm going to do that now.
Right.
I'm going to do it whether or not you guys are there.
I did mention that to them, and they don't want you on the property right
You know
now,
what?
so.
1-800, I don't care. I mean, their opinion.
I don't know what that even means. 1-800, I don't care. It just came out of my mouth.
Because
I'm not
standing here and make sure that you guys are safe right now.
right? Because I'm a free citizen, and that's my town hall. That's my town square. That's the answer. Why there's no other answer to it.
I'm explaining to you what security told me. If you're not happy with
I like that copy.
I'm not
He's
interested
trying
in
to
playing
defeat
legal
things,
games with mall
I was
cops.
being unreasonable in
So
asserting my
unless you have
rights.
any last minute things to say, I am now going to walk with my
As in, I'm not going to give them up
cameraman.
because some mall cop says so or some hooligans say so. I'm going to go stand on my city hall town square.
Those are two possibilities. I hope you guys will just walk with me to the stairs. I'll do 5 minutes.
I was ready to be arrested. I was ready to go in there alone. I really was.
So, Mocha, are you coming?
And Mocha, the cameraman who was
a
harassed
magnificent
earlier,
performance.
he came in very brave.
Outdoor lawyering.
There I go.
We are asserting ourselves. You
And the
can
cops
already
were
hear
there, and you
moans
notice the
from
protesters
sacred
don't try a
circle
thing
of the autonomous
with the real
city.
cops there.
And we're being met with.
They're not doing that umbrella business.
Mall cops, for lack of a better term.
There's Aaron the lawyer.
Ezra Levant here for rebelnews.com. I'm standing in the town square of Toronto.
Corporate security, we're trespassing you from the property for causing disturbance.
I haven't caused a disturbance. Stop lying, please. Please stop lying. Please don't lie on TV.
Of all the places to lie, people never lie on TV. It's never happened before. We don't want to set a precedent.
Please
No
don't lie.
lying on TV. It's
I
sacred.
don't.
Leave the property.
Well, here's my lawyer. You can talk to him, okay? Okay. I'm gonna keep doing my work. If you guys want to interfere, what's your name? What's your name? Show me your ID.
He has been trespassed.
I don't believe you. Show me your ID.
Well, right here.
That's the way to do it. I'm not
can't
showing
see your
him my
name.
ID.
Stop
I'm
hiding
asking
your
to see
name.
his
Yusuf
ID.
Kassam.
I'm interrogating him. I might just arrest him before the day's done if I'm feeling a little
Asking me to
frisky.
leave is in the grounds. All right. Talk to my lawyer or talk to one of the kids.
The kids. That's what I call anyone under 30. Talk to my lawyer, talk to one of the kids, talk to the hand. I'm too busy. I'm too busy journalisming.
For rebelnews.com, I'm standing in a very strange place. Normally, it's
Look at those
the town
cops.
square
A ring of
my
steel.
own city.
I've never been
But
safer in my
today,
life.
it's a
Ring of
encampment, a rather
steel.
gross, urine-soaked encampment of protesters, rather incoherent. We sent reporters here yesterday to try and have a conversation with them, but it was not useful. Then mall security, I'm calling them mall security because that's what they are.
There's that guy in the blue
told our
shirt
people
still
to
wandering
leave. Now,
around
that's
looking
not
for a
what the law
fight.
says.
But the cops, all they have to do is glare at him and he backs away.
Is that
I
a
think he's
Toronto
known to
City
police.
policeman said,
Now there's the
if
cop
we
the other day
didn't leave,
telling
we would
David
be
to get out.
charged under
Yeah,
the
no, that's what made me say we're going
Now,
back.
I
Rolling
contacted
heavy, my
Aaron
whole entourage.
Rosenberg, our lawyer, and we went through the trespass laws very carefully. And he confirmed that there are certain grounds you have
There
to
I am
violate
standing in the town
before
square.
being
It's a lovely
trespassed. So we
town
didn't
square. I mean, there's some
violate
hideous
those.
architecture around
So
it.
today,
That's a
this
pretty
morning, we had
building.
a staff meeting
There's
going through those
there's
laws,
the sort of
and
mini
we came
riot.
back. Well, you saw the footage of the mini riot that happened, and our 7 private security guards were actually attacked. And I don't blame them for saying, we got to get out of here. The cops weren't around.
Yeah, look, let me
Luckily,
be clear. Our private
4 of
security could have
Toronto's
pummeled them
finest
into
did
powder.
finally come,
But that's not
and after
professional
some
licensed private
attempts
security.
at
They don't say we're going to
negotiation,
fight. It's not a
one of the
gang
things gonna
battle.
happen.
It's
I'm gonna come back
protection
down here
detail.
myself
So they
alone
wanted to move
and
us
get
out
beat
because they
up.
didn't want it to turn
I'm
into a
going to come
riot.
back down here with their protection. Thank God that's what we're doing. Or the third option is they'd arrest me. I'm very glad it's ending without arrest, although the day's not done.
It's not done.
That's about it for me. This isn't an interesting story. I mean, these protesters are a rent-a-mob. They're not interesting in any way. What is an interesting story is how John Tory's Toronto has rolled out the red carpet for lawlessness
Look at
and
those
is cracking
mall
down
cops. They're completely
on journalists
abiding
peacefully
and
doing
even
their
supporting the
What have we learned
protesters.
today, folks? Do we have free speech in Canada? I think we do. But it's kind of like Diet Coke or free speech light, if you will. It's not the full meal deal. It's not the First Amendment like our American cousins have. We got our little 5 minutes and then we get the bum's rush. I'm not blaming the individual police officers. This is the bailiwick of John Tory, and his spineless leadership in the city of Toronto.
I regret that our private security took some punches. I have to say, Toronto's police did the right thing in the end. I understand Toronto police.
Now, what's with that walk?
Wanting
What's with
to
that lurching
negotiate,
walk?
wanting to
Was
have a
did I have to go to the
diplomatic
bathroom or
solution, but
something?
That's not how
It's
it
like
is
you know when you
between
walk with the same
bank
arm
robber
and the
and a
same
bank
leg,
teller.
which is not natural. I think that's
That's not how it
what's
is
with
between
that?
a fireman and a fire.
Is that like
There's
my
right and wrong,
WWF
there's lawful
march?
and unlawful.
Maybe it's a bit of a strut.
And committing
Maybe I was
acts
feeling
of journalism
pretty,
in the public
pretty
town
good
square.
back then.
That's lawful. All right. What a great day.
Look who I
Thanks
thank.
everybody for your support.
Look who
If you
I
wanna help
thank at
cover
the end.
costs
Ready?
Of our 7 private security. It's a big bill. Go to journalistdefensefund.com.
And listen to this.
Thanks, officers. Have a good day, guys. Thank you very much.
I thank the officers. Want to let you know. Now look at this. Look at this. Give me a little sad music. It's very sad. David Menzies was assaulted by Jonathan Yaniv with a cane. That was crazy. This guy, Dion Buse, criminal, lip ring, loot here, assaulted Sheila. We went after him for a year. We got him. I don't know who assaulted Keen here. We never found him. If we find him, we'll sue him. David was assaulted again outside the Radisson. So is our cameraman Ephraim. We're suing the Radisson and the guy who punched him. What's that, like 4 lawsuits, 5 lawsuits already? We will always protect our reporters. Yeah, absolutely. If you can name for me the guy who hits Ephraim, if you can give me that name, EzraRebelnews.com, I'm going to sue him. You can't touch our reporters. Our right to tell the truth. Absolutely. Yeah, there's that thug. Look, he goes in, he goes in, he goes in. Boom. Hits the camera. Ephraim says, you back off, buddy. Help us protect our reporters. And here's me to say hello, goodbye. JournalistDefenseFund.com.
We're downtown here under police protection.
So there it is. That was our big theatrical video that we released this morning. I think we put it up around 9 a.m. or something, 9:30 a.m. And what's the view count on that, Justin? How's that doing so far? I think it's being very well. 73,000 I hear in my ear. About 10,000 since in the last half hour. That's a very, that's a lot of viewers. And I see in, when I'm just chit-chatting, Justin's keeping an eye on the super chats and he sends them to me to my phone and my laptop in case I miss them in real time because I want to make sure I get all of them. But it is sort of neat how, I'm just checking here, 74,000 views. Now it does frustrate me that YouTube has not monetized it yet because, I mean, we spent $4,200 plus tax on security alone. We had 5 cameras there. If this were a liberal video, it would be making tons of ads for them. They're just, they're not letting us put ads on it, even though we've appealed it. There's nothing salacious about that. We blurred the identities of certain people. If you can help chip in to help cover the, I'll tell you what the money's going to. Number 1, the security, obviously. Number 2, lawyers. You saw Aaron there looking tough as he can. Number 3, I do mean it when I say if we can get the name of that guy who hit Ephraim, our cameraman, we're going to sue him. I think step 1 would be we would try and press the police to lay charges and for the Crown to prosecute because it's obviously a crime. If that doesn't work, I think we would try and do what's called a private prosecution. It's unusual, but it's lawful. It's when a private citizen goes to the criminal courts and say, Judge, for some weird reason, the cops and the Attorney General are in cahoots on this and they won't sue this guy. He's some protected person. We're here for our rights under the law. We're going to prosecute this guy under the criminal code. It sounds unusual because most of the time, criminal lawsuits are styled R v. so-and-so. R stands for Regina, the queen, or Rex, the king, versus so-and-so. In the States, it would be the people versus so-and-so, the people. Well, what happens if the people, in the form of the district attorney or the U.S. attorney, don't sue? What happens in Canada when the Crown attorney doesn't sue? We have the right to sue. So if you can help me find the name of the guy who punched Efron, we're going to take him to court. We're going to ask the cops to do so. If they decline, which I fear they will, we will make a private prosecution out of it. That is going to cost us 40, 50, 60 grand. I'm sorry, that's just what these legal bills are. If you've ever been in a lawsuit, you know that's how it is. Do you think that's a good idea? Few other media companies would do that for their people. They'd say, oh, just brush it off. No, I think it's not just about setting a precedent. It's about self-respect. Both of those things are linked, of course. Okay, let me read some super chats. A bunch came in during the course of things there. Okie dokie. Jim Brody, $14, thank you. Pink Phoenix Nails, $1.49. Well, thank you. Gabriel Mullet, $20. Great video. Keep up the amazing journalism. Okay, I think I've reread some of these. Yeah, Randy Truscott, $20. Thank you. UK Freedom Audits. Guys, please donate if you're able. At the very least, hit that like button. Rebel News, great reporting the truth. Okay, I think I'm rereading some of these. Yeah, Richard White, $20. Anton Kovalenko. Sorry, I was repeating some old ones, but I'm happy to do so. Here we go. Anton Kovalenko, 50 smackers. Well, thank you. Get the mayor by his ass. Yeah, the mayor is absolutely up to his eyeballs in this. His office is in that building. He sees that urine-soaked protest shanty every day, and he's not only fine with it, he's helping them. He put the porta potties up. He literally has his city hall security shooing us away, saying we're breaching the peace. Oh my God. Landon Hill, $5. Hey, Ezra, just got my site membership. I'm a farmer near Carbon, Alberta. You should check out Quick Dick McDick to see how most Western farmers feel. I know exactly who you mean. And I like Carbon, Alberta for many reasons, including its name. Avataz, $2, said, see these crazy occupiers are everywhere. That one guy, don't run away from love. Don't run away from loves. Just madness, just some of them on drugs, some of them kooky, most of them just nothing to say. Cannon fodder. Terry, $2, Ezra, I'm really sorry, but I trespass you. Oh, I trespass you. Oh, I want to trespass you. Oh, this is a very romantic evening. I hope it ends with you trespassing me. See, that would actually make sense. A trespass is to violate in some way. So when that mall cop said, I trespass you, you're not using the word right. Other than, yes, you are trespassing me in that you are violating me. Trespass means to violate in some way. Typically to trespass to property, but it could be a trespass to a person. She's just using the word wrong. I mean, she's not a real cop, but she sure, oh my God, that was, and I heard that she's trespassing you, you gotta get trespassed. By the end of the day, I was using that same goofy word. Oh my God. If you say it in a romantic accent, it becomes very sexy. I will trespass you. Copa de Sao, 22 Norwegian kroner. Take them out and put them down. Hard is required. Well, that's the thing. Look, I saw our security. They were serious guys. They could have smooshed those violent protesters. So when they were driven out, my 7 guys could have crushed their guys in a second. But that's not what professional security do. And so every single day, I get people say, hey, I'll volunteer. Hey, I'm a big guy. Well, I appreciate that, but I'm not looking for a gang fight. I'm not looking for people to rumble. And by the way, I want you to be licensed and insured so I don't get in trouble and you don't get in trouble. And if something happens, there's insurance. So that's why we don't just roll with big guys. I mean, I appreciate everyone saying I'll be security for you. That's not the kind of security I want. I don't want just a bunch of big guys who want to fight. I want a bunch of big guys who don't want to fight. That's what we had. Rusty Peterson, 279. Have you ever tried to contact the mayor, Rebel Media? Well, David Menzies does all the time. And they ignore him, of course. Damon the Damage, hello again, and thank you for your generosity. It's great to see you again. What do you have to say today? Watching this is like watching a ride along on the show Cops. Yeah, you're right. Andrew McAleese, $50. Well, thank you. Edmonton support. Thanks, fellow rebels, for being part of our voice. Well, I appreciate that. Agent Anderson, $5. We don't recognize your right to exist, so your laws are null and void. Our prisoners in your jails must be freed. Same logic to the PLO. I wonder why. Oh, well, Black Lives Matter endorsed the Palestinian struggle against the Zionist entity over the weekend in the UK. It was quite startling, but not surprising. Anton Kovalenko, $5. Get the mayor to answer for all this. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna. I keep on saying who's the most cowardly mayor in the country, and I always think, well, maybe it's this one. Well, no, it's the mayor of Victoria. No, Calgary, Edmonton. Look, it's such a contest who's the biggest coward. Mayors are the worst. I don't know why that is. True BD 44. Oh my gosh, Bim Jim, $100. That's crazy in a good way. Thank you, Bim Jim. That's unbelievable. Thanks. True BD 44, $50. Thank you all. Awesome. The moment when Ezra says enough talk and walks through the police line. The police were trying to use intimidation, not the law, to make people do what they want. It probably works all the time, but not on Ezra. I didn't feel like the police were trying to intimidate me. I really didn't. And I was trying to be respectful and nice to them. I really was. I didn't insult them. In fact, I said at one point that it's tough being a cop because they're going to video every move and you make one false move, they get you. I actually really liked that guy. And you know what? I respect what he was trying to do. He was trying to make this whole problem go away, which is probably good policing 90% of the time. But the thing is, this wasn't that 90% of the time. This was when you had criminals physically occupying, they were trespassing on the town square. And I was a journalist going peacefully to report. We had checked the laws that morning. We were doing everything right. And I let the cop do his wear me down, rope-a-dope thing, talk to the mall cops, come back, make suggestions. And you know what? I don't blame him for any of that. It's good police work to try and get an issue to be avoided. But at the end of all the talk and debate, I knew my rights. And he also knew my rights. And I knew I hadn't caused a disturbance or broken the law in any way. And if that were private property, if that was someone's house, or even a mall, a notice of trespass, it has to take a certain form, but it would be legit. But you cannot be evicted for trespass from a town hall without meeting certain standards. You can't just, otherwise the mayor would just ban whoever he wants. I trespass you, and I trespass you, I trespass all of you. It's not how it works. It's not how it works, despite that mall cop thinking that's how it works. Mike Mayer, $10. The Colonel Sanders line was pure gold. Keep fighting for the truth. Well, my point is, a mall cop is not a real cop. And just like Colonel Sanders was not a real colonel. Dragon Joe, $5. Those are some good officers. They tried to defuse the situation the easiest way, but when Ezra refused to back down, they agreed to go strong and free. That's my take also. Plus, they probably didn't want that. If I would have gone in and they not protected me, that would have been on them probably. Legally speaking, politically, that'd be a whole thing. And had they arrested me, oh wow, that would just start a whole mess. So yeah, and look, there was no big deal. They went in there, 5-10 minutes, and it was done. No harm done, no one got hurt, no lawyering going on. So it really actually was easy for them to do. Wise guy, $10, 1-800, I don't care. I'd buy that t-shirt. Yeah, I don't even know where that came. I don't even think I've ever said that in my life. It just popped out of my mouth. I was trying so hard to be polite. It's very hard for me. But I am famous for being polite. Stephen Bent, $20. The Rebel rocks. Thank God for you guys, or the truth would never get out. Keep up the good work. Yeah, where's the reportage on this from the CBC state broadcaster? Peter Mercer, $14. Thank you. Kaylee Longhurst, £5. Incredible. Thank you, Team Rebel. Can't wait to share this true way of Antifa and how they work. Amazing journalism. Canada are very lucky to have you. All X. Thank you. And you know what? I think the UK needs this. Can you pull up the Cambridgeshire police tweet? Like, look at this. Oh, you don't have it? There's two different Cambridgeshire police Twitter feeds. One is verified and one is not. The verified one retweeted the unverified one, weirdly, over the weekend. You know, Count Dankula retweeted it also, if that's an easier way to find it. So yeah, it did not emanate from the verified Cames cops, but they retweeted an unverified account of their own. It's very weird. I'll keep reading these. Let me know when you find it. Count Dankula retweeted it. I want to get back to it though, because it shows how the UK is even worse than Canada. Rim Fire, $50. Love and support from Indiana, USA. Keep up the fight for freedom. We support you. Well, that's awful friendly. Thank you very much. Jack Krauser, $14. Trudeau supports these communists. Think about it, folks. He's already got us in socialism. Next step is communism. Tough to disagree, especially with his love in for actual communists, China, Castro's Cuba. Real Summer, $20. You are amazing. No, you are amazing. No, you are amazinger. No, you are amazingest. Chris Marchese, $2. I just watched your new video. Amazing stuff, guys. Well, thank you. It was a whole team effort. I mean, we know David's courageous, and the whole team, we had 7 security. But when I decided to go in, I hadn't really, so I said, Mocha, are you with me? Mocha's a cameraman. He came right away. I wasn't 100% sure that our team would follow, but I was 99% sure, and they sure did. Jacob C., $20. Thanks for giving us the other side of the story. Well, that's our motto, Pro Gunner, $2. Thank you for trying to save our city. Well, I'm trying, but I think it's going to take more than just a band of rebels to save the city. Wyatt Webster, $14. Hey, $140. Oh my goodness. Wyatt, it's great to hear from you again. Thank you very much. That's incredible. $140. Support Parler. I just signed up for it. Parler is another social media app like Twitter, like Facebook. It's actually quite similar to Twitter, even looks, and they, instead of retweet, they call it echo or something. I haven't quite figured it out yet. Rebel News has an account on Parler. I do too. Tommy Robinson's on Parler, which tells you a lot about its tolerance of dissident voices. Oh, by the way, I hear in my ear that Justin found, so thank you, Wyatt. I'm going to go on Parler more. I just got to figure it out a bit. Here's that tweet from Cambridge Police. Oh, it was Northumbria. Okay. Okay, sorry, I thought it was Cames. Northumbria Police will be in attendance to facilitate a planned Black Lives Matter vigil at Keele Square in Sunderland tonight. Oh, I've been to Sunderland. A Section 14 order is in place forbidding any other public assembly, including counter-protests, to ensure the public's safety? Really? Anyone with concerns should bring one away. I've been to Sunderland. There are atrocious social problems in that city. Problems of rape gangs, problems of lawlessness, problems of terrorism fundraising. It is perhaps the worst city council in the United Kingdom. I've been to Sunderland 3-4 times. Look at that again. So this is the police. This is a verified account. So I was confused. It's probably a similar post by Cambridge Police, but this will do. We'll be in attendance to facilitate. So Black Lives Matter, and it's a vigil, you see, not a protest. Was it really a vigil? So Black Lives Matter can protest with security paid for by the cops, but no one is allowed to counter-protest even peacefully. Hey, it's for your safety, guys. And if you don't like it, you can call us and we'll write your name down. What's the ratio on this tweet? Scroll down a little bit. Spot the racist, yeah. Selective policing. Why are Black Lives Matter permitted to have an illegal mass gathering? Yeah, what about COVID? Ooh, spot the racist. I don't understand. Was there a law passed in Parliament very recently? Shouldn't this illegal gathering have been banned? Only when it suits. I had to read that twice. Allowing a BLM protest but not any other? Thought all protests were banned. BLM might as well fulfill their aim of abolishing the police for all the bloody good they do to the rest of us. Vigil for what? Welcome to the two-tier policing system in the UK. So the police encourage breaking the law. What hope have we got? How can this go ahead, though? I thought that the Regulation 7 restricts public gatherings to no more than 6 people. Good point. They're saying the vigil can happen even though it's illegal. So basically, their Section 14 will carry no weight to it. That's unfair. Look, I'm just every single tweet. That action is undemocratic. That's breaking the law. What happened to the 6-man law? That only applies to the underclasses, yeah. I see more than 6 people together. Do I have to phone the police? Not one reply from the police force. Absolute joke. To be fair, it can take a while to fit knee pads properly. All that kneeling can be dangerous. Partisan policing. One rule for some. So wait, you're literally showing what side you're on. Oddly enough, it's the side that loathes them. Yeah, great point. The wisdom of the people here. Be interesting if others decide to take their daily exercise at the same time. It's just endless. It's exactly what taking the knee means. Very disappointing. Genuine question. The police ever publicly offered to facilitate a crime before? Ever in history has it happened? I misread that as Neil Square. Good for you. Instead of without fear or favor appears to have passed you by. Going to be 6 protesters only. It's just endless, and absolutely disgraceful and arguably unlawful. You get my point. Quis custodiet ipsis custodes, a little bit of Latin, as if anyone knows that these days. Who watches the watchman is what that means. My point is, where's the rebel of the UK? Going there with a bunch of bodyguards and a bunch of lawyers to say, you better arrest me. Like, seriously saying only one side is allowed to have a protest. It's allowed to violate the COVID pandemic rules, and anyone else will be arrested on site. If you have any problems, call us and we'll write your name down. Where is, like, you got, how many people are in the UK? 65 million, 70 million people? Land of the Magna Carta, land of John Milton, land of Areopagitica. Do you even know what I'm talking about? Areopagitica, perhaps the finest argument for free speech ever penned. The land of Shakespeare. The land of John Locke. I think he was a Brit. And you just allow this. You just, I'm going to tweet about it and then go back to bed. Where's that fighting spirit? Is there any fighting spirit left in that country? Very sad. Sneaky Beaver, $10. Hello, Ezra. If you ever need French translator, I want to help you guys. I could help you guys bridging the local news radio in Quebec City that wants you to show up at their studio for a talk. You know, I go on Dominic Moray's show, and he does a simultaneous translation, but thank you for the offer. Wendy's Cafe, $10. When did Nathan Phillips Square become Indigenous property? That girl the other day said it was their land. Yeah, I don't even know if that girl was Indigenous. I don't know. But even if she was, that's just not a legal fact. It's public property. It's Canadian property. For everybody, of every race, actually. Adji Muntian, $14. By the way, the name Ezra is help in Hebrew, which is exactly what he is doing to Canadian citizens to see the other side of the story. Thank you so much for everything. That is what Ezra means in Hebrew. Rolerio, CHF, $10. I think that means Swiss francs. Thank you. Greetings from Switzerland. So glad we have direct democracy. Thanks for your great work. Yeah, I don't know much about Switzerland. I haven't been since I was a teenager. But I'd like to go and see what it's like these days. Douglas Kubler, $2. Thank you. Luciana Torti-Junker, $21. Take the useless mayor to court. He can't make these laws assume. Well, we were ready. I mean, you saw I brought my lawyer really right there. But in the end, we had our rights protected, sort of. David Kozier, 333. Ezra, you're breathtaking. No, you're breathtaking. I trespass you. You know, it reminds me of that old movie with Richard Dreyfuss called Moon Over Parador. Did you ever see that? It's a very funny movie. I think it's from the 80s or 90s, where he played an actor, and there was a dictator in some banana republic who fell ill or died or something, but he looked like the dictator, so they made him take over for the dictator as a body double. And it was a very funny movie, at least my childhood memory of it. And he would say, and the country was called Parador. The movie was Moon Over Parador. And he would say, Parador, I want to swim in your rivers. I want to climb your mountains. I trespass you. No, I trespass you. No, not if I trespass you first. That's what it was like. I don't think they knew what the word trespass meant. I trespass you. No, trespassing for anybody. That word, I don't think it means what you think it means. Wendy's Cafe, $10. Where is Sheila today? I'd like to hear more about Butt's deleted Twitter post from the other day. Do you think anything will happen to him, or will there be any blowback from the USA? Well, Sheila will be here tomorrow. Sheila does a live stream every Tuesday and Thursday. I do it Monday and Friday. It's 1:03. I'm going to keep going for a while because I want to get through these super chats. Proud Boys Calgary, 279. Sino Partium Comunista de Lenda Est. There's a little bit of Latin for you. The Chinese Communist Party must be destroyed. I accept that. Balder Broke Media, $5. We need you down here in the U.S. Great work. Well, thank you very much. I'd like to find some talented journalists willing to pick up our style down there. I have a few in mind. Yeah, I've been trying to connect with Randy Savage, as she jokingly calls herself, Hublette, as she calls herself on Twitter. She's based, she's a great gal, and her husband does a live show. I've been trying to connect with her to get her doing stuff because I like the cut of her jib. So there's some American talent that I want to bring on our team. I have trouble connecting. And I can't travel there because of the pandemic. Because if you come back to Canada, there's a 14-day quarantine. I can't do that. Therese Pollard, $2. Loved your new video. Oh, thank you very much. Not a band account, $2. Why is Black Lives Matter in Canada? You outlawed slavery in 1793, in fact, was when slavery was abolished in Upper Canada. I'm not sure about Lower Canada, which is what they called Quebec back then. I know that McGill University was named after a slave owner. And, but I don't know if the slaves were in Canada. I have to check. As you know, Canada was the destination of the Underground Railway. It's where people ran away from slavery to find freedom. So Canada was the refuge, because we were part of the British Empire, which not only banned slavery, but hunted down slave traders for 50 years. And redeemed every slave in the empire at great expense, like paid for their freedom. Douglas Cooper, $5. Hey, cousins, adopt a Bill of Rights. We have something called the Bill of Rights, believe it or not, passed in 1960, I think, by Diefenbaker, and then our Charter of Rights passed in 82. But both have lots of wiggle room in them, which is not good. Daniel Fagan, $18. Thank you very much, Daniel. Igor McJazz, $5. Merci beaucoup. De rien, mon ami. I trespass you. Veterans Voice, Chris Semchuk, $7. See you on Canada Day, Freedom Rally, Parliament Hill. Thank you. Sevius, $2 Canadian. All right, I think I caught up on the Super Chats. Am I more or less caught up on the Super Chats? The biggest Super Chat of the day, my old friend Wyatt Webster, thank you very much, with his advice to support Parler. I will. I'm so used to Twitter, I got to figure out how it works, and I got to make a habit of going there. But it's where all the interesting people go when they're banned from regular Twitter. All right, well, let me close. I had other things I was going to talk about a little bit, but I don't propose to do so because it's already 1:06. Do we have a dog video or not today? Why don't you take a look at it, make sure it meets the Justin standard of curation, because I always like to end on a dog video. But let me close by saying this. Oh, first of all, I want to check what's the view count on that video we rolled out this morning. Looks like it's 79,000. That is quite a lot for the first 4 hours. Unfortunately, it is still being blacklisted. 82,000 real-time views, which is 346% more than usual in the first 4 hours, according to our analytics. So it's doing really well. Looks like it has 2,872 comments. I'm talking about our big video, the one I sort of gave you my chit-chat about. 7,813 upvotes, 120 downvotes. It's not bad. That's, what's that ratio? It's like 60 to 1 like it versus don't like it. I'll take that. It's a controversial video. Tons of comments, so thank you for that. Look, we sent David back to another event yesterday. We had 3 ex-RCMP security for him. That's going to cost us $1,800. Can you believe that? So there's no other media company in Canada that has to send 2, 3, 4, 6, 7 journalists, a security just to accompany a journalist. Like, that's unheard of. If that were the case, we would be having national conversations about it, especially if it was a CBC journalist that was on the defensive. But it's the rebels, so none of the free speech groups in Canada care. None of the journalism groups in Canada care. We have no help from them. No politicians care. Hey, I got a question for you. Anybody watching a member of the Conservative Party of Canada or the PC Party of Ontario? Put up your hand. Yeah, I don't see any hands because I'm looking at a camera. That's probably why. Anybody here a Conservative Party member? I know some of you are, and there's more than 100 Conservative MPs in this country. I don't know the exact number. And there's quite a few Conservative MLAs and MPPs, as they're called in Ontario. I haven't seen a single Conservative politician speak out against these thugs, let alone speak out in our defense. Have you? I'm not looking for a politician to endorse us. I'm looking for them to endorse the rule of law and the freedoms under which we all operate. And in this case, Rebel News, and my friend David Menzies in particular, are the canaries in the coal mine. And I showed you that Northumbria police. I thought it was Cambridgeshire. I think they both did it. Frankly, they both had the same outlandish, outrageous tweet. That's where we are in Canada now. And I think we rose to the challenge and pushed back in a very careful, thoughtful, lawful way. I don't know why our British friends aren't doing the same. And it's really pitiful, frankly. I love Britain. I used to visit there monthly before the pandemic, visit Tommy, see what else is going on there. Where are the lions? Where are the lions? If you go to Trafalgar Square, give me an image of Trafalgar Square with the lions. It's just an exciting place, Trafalgar Square, right in the heart of London. In fact, sometimes I went there with my family and we stayed there because I just felt like that was the heart of the city in a number of ways. And I loved staying very close to Trafalgar. And I loved the sculptures, and I loved the monuments, and I loved what was Trafalgar about, and it's a little bit of history. And I'm a Canadian, and I didn't really know. So look at that. There's a whole bunch of them. Can you find some more? Like there's these gorgeous lions, which in so many ways was the perfect symbol of the United Kingdom and the British Empire, in fact. And I know that Churchill was like a bulldog. He sort of looked like a bulldog, maybe even sounded like a bulldog. Yeah, those lions. You see those? You know what? A little bit more of this compliance, a little bit more of this subordination and submissiveness, and those lions will be a lie. Those aren't lions there because, hey, we like critters. Those are lions there because that is the symbol of the British Empire and the United Kingdom and the British people. And I put it to you that such a docile people do not deserve to compare themselves to lions. Now, I have not written off the British Empire, the British Isles, the United Kingdom, who shaped history more than any other. I suppose the Romans and the Greeks could claim that too, and maybe even the Egyptians before them. But no, it's the British Empire that colors so much of our life today. The English language, bureaucracy, the rule of law, free speech, civil liberties. That's British. Magna Carta, that's British. Everything we have in terms of our legal legacy is from that island. So why have they forgotten it? And by the way, when my American friends say, hey, can you help us out down here? My answer is yes, of course. But you've got 330 million souls, and your Constitution is robustly free. You actually have the First Amendment and the Second Amendment and a culture of freedom, and you were born in revolution, not in negotiation. Where are your freedom fighters? I felt like we fought for freedom, maybe in a very Canadian way. I hear in my ear from Justin that Kerry Diotte stuck up for us on Facebook. Can you find that? Because I want to give him a shout out. If there was, in fact, a Conservative MP who morally stood up for us, then he must be named and noted. In the meantime, let me read a couple more super chats. Aggie Muntian, 279. Would you consider to interview Pierre Poilievre? Absolutely, I love Pierre. I wish he would have run for the leadership. Yeah, I'd talk to him anytime. Landon Hale, $5. They are protesting a 5G tower in Carbon. I told them that everyone who believes it's dangerous should enjoy dying warm and toasting on the inside. I don't understand exactly what you mean, Landon. My concern about 5G is I don't understand the technology or anything like that. My concern is who built it. I don't want the Chinese Communist Party controlled company called Huawei to build our 5G network. I don't know enough about 5G. I know there are concerns about them. Some of them may or may not be rooted in evidence or science. But it is absolutely legitimate to worry about Huawei participating in 5G. Would you want anything in your communications backbone to be built by the Communist Party of China? But that is lawful right now, if you can believe it. Bim Jim, $100. Wyatt Webster, 149, 140, still amazing, amazing. All right, it's 114. I just want to show very briefly before we go if we can find Kerry Diotte. I think Sheila found it and she's sending it to us. I'm going to see if I can just find it. Kerry Diote. He's an Edmonton MP for the Conservative Party. And if he indeed is standing up for us, I want to know. Boy, he's very active on Facebook. I'm just scrolling myself through his Facebook feed. I'm going back in time a couple of days here. Bear with me. I'm sorry I'm keeping you waiting. I want to give him a shout out. Like if there's an MP who stood up for us, I want to make sure I don't miss it. Well, I can't find it. Yeah, I just don't see it. Now I hear in my ear that Sheila's trying to send it to Justin. I'm scrolling through it. I'm going back. I'm at June 24th here already. I see he retweets a Rex Murphy column about social justice warriors and cancel culture. And I'm already back at June 23rd, almost a week ago. I see really nothing about it. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm just saying I can't find it. Oh, I hear in my ear that Justin has it. Thanks for, I just want to give him credit if he is doing it. So I hear that Justin has now got it from Sheila. Perhaps the only Conservative politician in the entire country to stand with our freedom. You would think that there would be some political entrepreneur who would say, well, let me be the only politician in the entire country to stand with Rebel News, not because of our personal affection or vice versa, but rather for our rights. Like, wouldn't that be something that a Conservative politician would want to do? Apparently not. All right, we'll give it another moment. If we're having trouble finding it, I don't know why that might be. But if we can't find it today, I'll let Sheila talk about it tomorrow. Did we find it? All right, we're having trouble finding it, which in itself says something. Oh, I'm told to hold for a second. Let me see if there's any more super chats. Give me a super chat while I'm waiting, and I'll read it. If not, we'll sign off. And Sheila has this show tomorrow noon, so she can find it, and we can be more prepared for it. It is here it is. Let's take a look. Can you pump up the size of that? June 25th at 9:30 a.m. Kerry Diote. This kind of treatment should not happen to any media organization or reporter on public property in Canada. And that's a link to my video called Rebel News Reporters Attacked While Police Stand By. Ezra Levant says enough. Okay, full credit where it's due. There it is. Somehow I missed that. This kind of treatment should not happen to any media organization or reporter on public property in Canada. And can we read the comments? I'd like to read those comments. Oh, it's a screenshot. That's why we were having some trouble finding. All right. Well, maybe Sheila can get into it in more detail. I got a question for you. You know, I'm a dues-paying member of some civil liberties groups. I think I pay a monthly donation to the Canadian Civil Liberties Association. I don't know why. They haven't said a peep about it. They even gave me a phone call because I guess they don't have a ton of monthly givers. I give every month. And they asked me for my thoughts, and I gave them my thoughts very polite. I'm famously polite. Everyone knows I'm polite. It's sort of my brand. And I was very polite on the phone with them, and I gave them suggestions, and they just said, yeah. It was a fundraiser, and I won't, you know what, I'll tell you what I said. I was completely irresponsible. I said, if you guys actually fight for civil liberties during the pandemic, I can't even believe I said this. I think I said it partly because I knew they would never take me up on it. I said, if you take a civil liberties case under the pandemic, fighting against our infringement of civil liberties, you want to know what I said? I shouldn't even tell you what I said. I said, I'll donate $5,000 to you. I don't know why I said that. That is a staggering amount of money. But I told them I would give them $5,000. This was a fundraiser on the call. Like, that's a huge donation for the Canadian Civil Liberties Association. And I said, you take a case. And he would say, well, I want to talk Black Lives Matter. I said, you know which Black Lives Matter? Eglinton West, there's 11 black barbershops in a row. It's sort of a Jamaican Caribbean part of town. And you know, Black Barbershop's is much more than just a barbershop. It's a place to hang out. It's not quite a cafe, but it's got that cafe culture, right? You sit around, you talk, you banter, you share the news. Community building, right? The Bedrock. It's a great, I don't know if you know the place. It's just west of Allen Road on Eglinton. Like 11 barbershops in a row. All black. They're all black owned. So this white fundraiser was calling me from the Civil Liberties Association. I said, you want to help black people? I know 11 black people who need your help. I'll chip in $5,000. You take one of their cases. $5,000, I said. It's a fundraiser. His eyes, you know, that cartoon, ka-ching, ka-ching, he should be going crazy. I said, you tell your boss $5,000 in it. Never heard from him again. Where's the Canadian Association of Journalists? Nowhere. Where's Canadian Journalists for Free Expression? Nowhere. Reporters Without Borders? Nowhere. PEN Canada? Nowhere. Our reporters are physically attacked. Our reporters are harassed by mall cops. Our reporters are dissuaded by real cops. Not a peep from the official people who claim they care about these things. Not just claim they care. They fundraise under the false advertising of Canadian Journalists for Free Expression, Canadian Association of Journalists, PEN Canada, Amnesty International. What irks me is not that they're cowardly and not that they abide this authoritarianism. I mean, most people do. What irks me is that they're fake, is that they claim they stand up for free speech, but they don't really. That's what bugs me. West Texas Ranchin', howdy from San Angelo, Texas. Great job defending the rights of your fellow Canadians. Thank you very much. I don't know where San Angelo is. I've been to 4 cities in Texas. I've been to Austin, Houston, Dallas, and Midland. And I have enjoyed, oh my, look at that. What is that in San Angelo, Texas? I hear in my ear that we have the original. Let's take a quick look. PJ Douglas, it shouldn't be happening to anyone, but when you have politicians supporting our ignorant, entitled punks for an easy vote, well, this is what you get. Sean Krebs, a harbinger of things to come to any Canadian in the future who disagrees with Trudeau. Karen Bateman. They do not want police involving themselves in anything that is their request. Get what you ask for unless you change your mind. I don't get it. Linda Jane, have the Conservative leadership candidates said anything about this? Right on, Linda Jane. Jack McDonald, police and government need to treat all people and all media equally. Yeah, that ship has sailed, brother. You see that news out of Northumbria? Tim O'Shea, this is totally unacceptable. Why are we allowing this? Good question, Tim. Johnny Bachewski, Rebel News workers are not reporters. Oh, really? We're not journalists? Yeah, mate. Reporting is an activity. Journalism is what you do. If you do it, you are one. It's not like being a doctor or an engineer where you actually need certification. Journalism is an activity. You journalize. It comes from the French word for jour, for day. What happened today? If you tell me what happened today, that is, by definition, a journalist. They are solely agitators to blatantly stir up attention on social media. Hey, you're not that security guard from the mall cop, are you? Kerry Diotte. Oh, what does he say? Sad you'll take that stance to believe the left's demonization of any conservative news outlet, my friend. Canada's courts have recognized Rebel as journalists when they ruled their reporters had to be allowed to cover federal election debates. Your pal Rachel Notley also was forced to lift a ban to allow Rebel to cover her news conferences. Kerry, that is a great point. Kerry knows his facts. I'm just going to read a couple more of these. Mandy Bansky-Lefebvre. They are entitled to report their version of any story. It's called democracy. You may not agree that is democracy. Your attention to this matter is communistic. Shouldn't happen to anyone, Kerry, media or otherwise. More leftist double standard BS. He is not a leftist, he's just an uneducated person. Anyways, I'm not going to read them all, but I'm enjoying the banter. Bill Kaufman saying Johnny's correct. Click on Bill. Is that Bill, the journalist for the Calgary Sun? Oh my goodness. I know, I used to work with Bill. Click back there. So is he saying Johnny is correct? Is Johnny the guy who said we don't have any rights? Oh, we lost it for a second. You know, I know Bill Kaufman. We overlapped at the Sun for a while. Bill Kaufman is himself controversial, and the Calgary Sun is itself. There we go. So who is the Johnny there? Go up just a tiny bit. Johnny Bachewski said we're not real reporters, and scroll down. Bill Kaufman says Johnny's correct. Bill Kaufman is a reporter for the Sun. I don't know if he still works there. Bill Kaufman takes strange and bizarre points of view that I disagree with, but it's journalism. For Bill Kaufman to say that we're not journalists shows the state of the media today. I'm sorry, I just here you got a guy saying we're not reporters, we're not legit, we have no right to be there, we're just there to stir things up. You saw what we were like. We didn't stir things up. The other side did. A politician defends our freedom of speech, and a fellow journalist condemns us? And not even a fancy journalist. Bill Kaufman is I'm not here to disparage him. I'm just saying, Bill, you work for the Calgary Sun tabloid. I mean, if you worked for the hoity-toity Globe and Mail, or National Public Radio, or the Atlantic magazine, and if you had a mid-Atlantic accent like Thurston Howell, I would understand you being a snob. But Bill, you're as low as I am. I mean, you write for the Calgary Sun, mate. Now, I like the Calgary Sun. It's a tabloid, it's a working class paper. But for you to be a snob, yeah, that just doesn't work. For you to get all snobby, you work for the Calgary Sun. I love the Calgary Sun, but it don't really fit to work for the Calgary Sun and tell other people they're not real journalists. Holy macaroni. All right, I'll read the last one. Sean Farley, 20 pounds. Here's a score from England, mate. Give them their wish. Defund police at protests. Let's see how the masked up weirdo scruffs go with no one to protect them. Yeah, I'd bet on the football fans over the typical, Antifa college kids. All right, it's 1:27. I went way over time. I'm interested in San Angelo, Texas. It looks like a lovely city. We'll come back to that another day. But for now, I want to say thank you for tuning in. If you can help us out, you can do so in the Super Chats here, or you can go to journalistdefensefund.com, journalistdefensefund.com, or just go to rebelnews.com if you can't remember journalistdefensefund.com. And because I got to cover those security costs that are ongoing. And Bill Kaufman never has a security problem because no one knows who he is, no one cares who he is, or he is on the side. I know he happens to be a radical pro-Palestinian activist, so he's never going to get roughed up from those people because he's their errand boy. One day, Bill, when you say something that is difficult to say, you will need security too. And I hope when that day comes that you finally have the courage to be interesting, that Post Media will provide security for you. Until that moment, hush now, little one. Let the real reporters do the real reporting and defend the freedom that you use every day. All right, I always like to end these Super Chats with a friendly puppy video because they make me 5 to 22% happier. I do not see these puppy videos in advance. They are curated by Justin, our jack of all trades. Do you have the puppy video today? We do. I will say goodbye to you now. I'll leave you with a puppy video. I'll see you tonight at my 8 p.m. show behind a paywall, and Sheila will be here tomorrow at 12 noon. All right, goodbye, everybody. See you later.
Whiskey, smile. Smile. Whiskey, smile.